American composer George Gershwin wrote his jazz-influenced orchestra piece, An American in Paris, in 1928. It premiered in Carnegie Hall and was later turned into a 1951 movie starring Gene Kelly and Leslie Caron. An American in Paris is currently on stage at the Overture, and our Michael Bruno went backstage to check out more than 500 costumes used during production.
So I'm backstage at the beautiful Overture Center, and it's the wonderful show of An American in Paris, and I'm here with the wardrobe supervisor, Meredith Scott. Meredith, thank you. Approximately how many costumes total are there in the show?
There are 550 total costume looks in the show, so really big.
How could you show us another one?
Yeah, of course. This dress here is inspired by Josephine Baker, who was an American singer and dancer who was dancing in Paris around this time period. So we have a little homage to her in the show. And then my favorite, one of my absolute favorites in the show, is the Showgirl. And this costume is very inspired by Radio City. It is a fantasy sequence within the show. It's the big tap number in Act 2. And it tends to be the one that the crowd loves the most.
So talking about the color palette, the very end scene.
Oh yes. So the big American in Paris ballet, which is the 20-minute ballet in the middle of Act 2 of our show, they are based on Mondrian. So it's very color blocked, very primary colors, and everyone in this scene wears a variation of these colors and in different patterns. Some of the girls have a skirt, some of the girls don't. The boys all have different colored pants, but everything is built on this color block pattern. Now this skirt is part of the masquerade scene, which is the very end of Act 1. And I think these are my favorite group of costumes collectively in the show. Everything is red, black, and red, and it's, you know, a masquerade ball. So everybody has on lots of lace and feathers, and there's, you know, clearly this has lots of petals and some sparkle, and it has tassels, and everybody has a crazy headpiece with feathers and multiple colors, and everybody's in a mask.
And what's a show without feathers? I love that. These are beautiful. And where do they wear this piece?
They wear these for Stairway to Paradise, which is the big tap number of Act 2, which is the leotard with all the Art Deco kind of appliques and things on them, which is very much present just on the headpiece. There are also a bunch of things that fly in from the air that are in this same shape, same colors that they project on. So again, that whole idea of the set and the costume sort of being very, very detailed and very involved and very similar is really very apparent in this scene.
I'm going to have one last because I'm sleeping out here.
Again, you can catch An American in Paris twice today. The first show begins at 1 and the second at 6:30 at the Overture Center.